Hello Internet, I'm Jackie Fox, and man, do I have a lot of stuff to test in Arena this week. I'm actually probably not going to be doing as much testing of the new Skahal meta as I was expecting to, in part because I'm going to be testing against it. So you're kind of going to get both, and you're also going to eventually get that Resnick the Hoppy video indirectly, in the way of a Noctis video. Because this is a Noctis video. Yeah, I know, he's not like a super new or relevant character, and it would be really, really cool if my boy could get a 140 or at least an MA2, which is a separate complaint that I have already made nearly an entire video about, and
Say, care to join me for some fun?
That'll do it.
Shall I turn you to C4?
Here I
Please
go.
stay strong.
Now then, who wants to be the first to do this?
I cannot let you leave here alive.
さっさとやろうぜ。絶好調。
Sorry. Your help is appreciated.
Live it up.
油断した。
Here I go.
Shall aid you.
なんとかやりきれん
Die
だろ
on。me.
あれ
Sorry. Your help is appreciated.
How can I resist?
This is rather fun.
Take that!
Here I go.
終わり
An easy target. Why don't you give up?
You're mine! I'm Zazan the Unkillable. Remember the name.
if you're wondering, by the way, what I'm thinking that a good MA2 for him and a good 140 would be, MA2 slash 25% slash resistance penetration. He already has defense penetration in his kit. Defense penetration here, more defense penetration could also be cool because he does have multiple attack types. But I'm also going with 7 magic, strike, and pierce resist. This excludes the 2 biggest physical damage types, slash and missile. There's a lot of ways to build for those attack types. I think it's really interesting. I think his place right here needs more magic resist, which is cool. Pierce is an interesting damage type. I don't know. I threw it in there because, you know, it's cool. He has a little bit of a weakness to strike, and strike's gonna be cooler in the future, so a little bit, just a little bit of strike resistance would make him just a little bit more relevant into the future. And then for the 140, the 2 buffs, I want 15% all elemental resistance. And just one quick additional note about my thoughts on his Dream Awakening and what it should be. 15%, he can already get above 100%. Technically it caps in game at 99% lightning resist, but he can already get above 100, and a big part of that for almost every build I've seen is the Earth Ring. And the Earth Ring is usually there in place of armor. Now, especially on this team, I can't help but think that if he had 15 passive lightning resist, then he could probably still get to 99 without the Earth Ring. Freeing up the Earth Ring to resist up another character on the team, and giving him the option to wear Black Garb, which would allow him to synergize a lot better with the rest of the members of this team, and synergize in the whole lightning can't hit the broadside of a barn spectrum. And 4 passive hate. Just 4. That's actually not as much as 5, and it's actually, if you know how hate works, 5 is slightly better than 4. I know that sounds obvious, but when you understand it, it's actually even more obvious. I don't know why I'm explaining this at all. But giving him a little bit of hate and giving him the ability to be a better elemental tank, and maybe even just a little bit... Oh, wait. I forgot the best part. The ability upgrade. Power of the True King. Okay, so Power of the True King now has 1 additional cast. If you remember, this is the move that gives him attack, magic, defense, and 3 turns of an additional hit. Okay? So 1 more cast for that so that he can use it, I believe, 3 times, which is going to be super helpful for guild battle, even beyond guild battle, just in case he has to use it twice on 1 map. Armager itself is active now for 5 turns after casting, which gives him more time to get that extra hit in. But, here's the kicker, while Armager is active for those 5 turns, he has 50% Spirit Piercing and Re-Raise. Now, it's Re-Raise, not Courage, because Courage would be absolutely broken, because there's no way to remove Armager, so he would just go down to 1 HP, and then he would just go down to 1 HP, and then he would just go down to 1 HP until you'd have to wait Armager out, I think is the way that works. You may not be able to... You can proc Courage at 1 HP. No, that's definitely a thing. So a conditional Courage this way would be broken. But the 50% Spirit Piercing, well, he's a physical unit, so 50% is a lot, but he's a physical unit. His Armager is really the main thing that this is going to turn up. It would mean that his Armager can ignore half of someone's spirit. But also, it means that for 5 turns, having Spellblade Subjob's abilities on him might not be the worst thing in the world. He's not going to be a huge magic damage dealer for sure, even with these upgrades, even if they do happen, but it would help. It would be an interesting way to make him a little less, or a little more of the hybrid unit that I think he was intended to be to begin with. But let's talk about why Noctis is the perfect solution to the Skahal meta. So, first issue that Skahal has in general is that if you can hit Skahal multiple times in a row, not like a multi-hit attack, but multiple units or a follow-up attack, that Courage don't mean nothing. Because Skahal is still paper thin. Skahal, most hits, especially from an Earth team, are going to bring Skahal down to 1 HP. Skahal will then need to heal, or Skahal is screwed. At least up to 70% HP. So, having a follow-up hit is incredibly effective against Skahal. A lot of people play Summer Helena with Skahal and then have Resnick as a healer. Summer Helena's addition to the team is apparently more damage. She also has Courage, so this strategy also works pretty easily against Summer Helena as well. So 2 for 1, Power of the True King takes out Skahal and Summer Helena really effectively in a way that Resnick has very little to do about. But the real reason that Noctis is the counter we need here is that he can easily be built for 99 lightning resist. This build that I'm showing you right now has 89 because it also has 72% magic resist. This is the team. I think the team adds another layer to this because other than Helena's guaranteed hits, lightning in general, okay, also the other than triple slash, lightning in general is very inaccurate. Lightning has a lot of trouble against evasion. If you really want to dominate a lightning team, Earth evasion is the way to go. So this is an Earth evasion team, but just so happens to have a tank that pretty much takes no damage from lightning magical attacks. And I think that this is really how you counter the Skahal meta right here, is something like this. And I've already talked about how Resnick the Hoppy could be directly a counter for Skahal. She helps. Occasionally, she lines up to where the things that I said about her countering Skahal do in fact help. But she's kind of overkill on this team. This team doesn't necessarily need her. But she is kind of like that perfect addition to doing everything that this team does right, even a little bit better. Now, one concession that I will make about this team is that it's probably better off to put Golem on here somewhere, probably on Noctis. This is going to decrease his magic resistance by quite a bit. However, it's also going to decrease his speed a bit. However, it's going to give him defense, it's going to give him Man-Eater, and it's going to give him a lot more lightning resistance. In fact, you might even have to remove some gear to get his lightning resistance from above like 106 after you equip Golem to him. The overkill is completely pointless. It only goes up to 99. So, and I think that that's way better for guild battle, especially lower level guild battle where Skahal, Summer, Helena walls aren't a thing, where you're more likely to still be seeing cloud or lightning. You still want that defense, you still want the lightning resistance as high as you can. You don't necessarily want the magic attack resist. But if you're going up against specifically this type of team in Arena, then Fenrir is probably a better Esper for Noctis for this purpose. And yes, this is actually a time that I would run him in Spellblade, and only because it's how he generates hate. And he's so much better at taking damage than any other unit on this team, even with lightning units being inaccurate and this being an evasion team, that you definitely want him generating hate. So that's how to use Noctis to counter pretty much everything that Lightning has going for it into the future? I don't know. Like, what does Lightning have coming other than Vega, who I eventually need to look into, despite staring at his picture so often. Oh well, maybe my next video will be about Vega or something. Who knows? See you next time.